Marvin, obviously it's been kind of a wild ride to finally get here and get to fight week. So what's this experience been like for you? You know, getting ready for a big fight and then losing an opponent and switching it up. What's it been like for you?
I guess now this became almost normal. Like this is more normal than actually having a fight and with the same opponent showing up and fighting the same opponent that you were supposed to fight. But yeah, man, a little adjustment has been done, and I'm ready to go. And at the end of the day, I don't care who's gonna be in front of me. You know, I'm ready. And this time, I knew I was gonna fight 5 rounds, so I prepared for 5 rounds, and the rest will be history.
I know clearly you would fight anybody, right? But you're at this time in your career, right, where you're like right there and decisions matter on who you fight and that sort of thing. So was there any consideration, like, again, I know you'd fight anybody, but was there any consideration like, hey, is this the right career move to take this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have fought like a guy that got signed yesterday, but like any top 10, you know, at this point, you know, like people don't realize, but there's a lot of work going behind the fight, and like it's not just my work, it's all my teamwork, like King's MMA work. Like I need to give back to these people too. So, and at the end of the day, I think it's more about the performance that I'm going to put on than the opponent. Like Derek Brunson got pushed up so high in the rankings by beating this guy in like not even in a great way. So I go out and I do me, and you know I'm going to be right there next in line, I think.
Yeah. I know you weren't necessarily impressed with Kevin's last performance. What did you make of that whole thing? It was one of the weirdest fights we've ever seen.
Yeah, weird. It's wild. I always said I don't think Kevin Holland knows by the time he's walking into the cage what he's going to do the next 5 minutes in the cage, and that's why. Like you can't predict what he knows, what he doesn't know. So you just make sure you approach him very methodically. You do you, and like my skills are not even comparable to him, I think. So that's it. I'm gonna do me. He's gonna do him. But I don't think there's much that he can do.
Yeah. Do you have any concerns at all with kind of his trash talking stuff? I think about you as a guy that maybe has a little bit of a temper sometimes, and he's going to be in there trying to mess with you and that sort of thing. I'm sure the face-offs will want to mess with you. So do you have any concerns about, hey, keeping yourself calm, collected?
You know, like I said, I'm really focused on me, and whatever he's going to do, well, first of all, in the fight itself, I don't think there's going to be much talking. He'll be worried about not getting taken out and defending himself. Whatever he does, I never plan weigh-ins and stuff before. So all I do is when it's face off, like I treat it as like it's almost fight. Like I'm fighting. It's about like it's real, and that's the only thing that I do all the time. But the rest I don't plan it. So I'm really focused on me, and whatever it's going to bring, I'm sure I'm going to have an answer, Yeah.
Lastly for me, I mean, an impressive victory here. I know that you're gunning for that title shot. I mean, maybe this isn't the high enough ranking, that sort of thing, but it's not your fault, right? You took who they put on the table. So if you win this fight, do you feel like it should be enough to get you a title shot, or do you think there's another name you might have to beat?
We'll think about the after, but no, I'm next. I'm next because this guy can't make it, man. Like. By default, I need to take their spot. By default, you're not there to defend your spot. You're not there to defend anything. Like you got that pen on that table. If you're not there and you're supposed to be there to defend that pen, and I'm coming, I'm taking the pen. Like you're not there to defend it. And to be honest, I'm getting more suspicious by the day with this thing. I was expecting him to put out like the X-ray of his collarbone and stuff like. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit suspicion, and Derek Brunson coming up this high. I don't know. Derek Brunson sounds like a little better matchup than me than myself. So I don't know. I'm getting a little bit suspicious, but it's okay. I have a fight, and now the next thing is gonna be to put on the best performance of my life Saturday night.
When you say you're suspicious, you think that maybe he didn't actually break the collarbone, or it was a different injury? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I really believed in the beginning, and then a lot of people would be like, oh, but do you really think so? That he really did break the collarbone? I thought, yes, I think so. But then they brought it up a few times, and then I don't know. Like, I was expecting him to show, like, more and say, like, I mean, if I break my collarbone and I'm pulling out of a fight, I'm giving proof that I broke my collarbone, I don't know. He went private. I don't know. He went private on Instagram. Like, No, I mean, he has a lot of followers. It's not that hard to find what he does, but I don't know. I don't think he's like. I don't know. I could be wrong though. He might have done. It's still a mistake on. Listen, they always say, "Oh, do you blame him for that? Do you blame him for, or do you blame him for that or not?" The responsibility to show up is still on you. I don't care. Like, and a fight, it's like I said, you're there to defend what you stand for, you're there to defend your spot. And if you can't show up, man, I'm taking that spot.
When you first found out he was injured and out of the fight, how frustrated were you? Because this was a big fight. It's on prime time in Europe. It's a great opportunity for you and an Englishman to fight in front of that crowd. How annoying was it?
Yeah, it was frustrating, man. I set my mind to fight this guy for like 3 months now, and all of a sudden they switched it up on me. But it's okay, you know. A little adjustment has been made, and it's already in the past.
When you look at him and Kevin Holland, in your mind, which one is the tougher matchup for you?
I think Darren Till was a tougher matchup. I mean, like, tougher fight in general.
Is that because of the way Kevin acts in the cage or just skill-wise?
I think overall it's a little more solid, you know. It's, I think his strikering is a little more sharper than Holland. I mean, he's definitely sharper than Holland. Like, Holland just brings a lot of weirdness. But I think Till, it's sharper and even physically is a little stronger, and his takedown defense a little bit better, you know. So I think Darren Till was a little tougher match, but they're a little like Darren Till was southpaw, Kevin Holland's orthodox, but besides that, like they're kind of similar a little bit. Like they're both mainly striker.
Do you look at the Kevin fight with Derek and think if he didn't behave the way he did, if he didn't continue to talk the whole time, he could have won that fight? Or do you think he was never really going to beat Derek Brunson?
No, the way Derek Brunson fought, I don't think he could have done much, to be honest. He just, no. That's lack of skill. You can't, no. He was not going to be able to stop those takedowns.
So do you look at that and just think, well, I just do that and I win?
No, hell no, because I fight differently. I'm not going to try to imitate anybody just because he beat it some kind of way. Like, I'm going to go out and smash him everywhere. Like, I'm better than him everywhere. Like, people just... That's the thing. A lot of people just have one thing, and they say, oh, that guy is so good on that one thing. But it's not true. The only thing is that he just have that one thing. So, no, I think I'm a better striker than him. I'm going to overwhelm him everywhere.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Marvin, thank you for taking the time to talk to media. You rocketed up the rankings. How happy are you that the UFC has recognized that and you are now the main event in the ABC primetime event?
Good. I mean, I feel good. What I care is that I'm progressing towards what I want to get, you know. But I feel like at the same time, I always said it. And okay, yeah, the number, it's a higher number, but there is still a lot to be accomplished. That just means that I can have bigger and better opportunities towards my goal. But I was never in to become number 5 in the world. I never really gave a fuck about that. I'm here to be number 1. So yeah, I mean, it's great, but at the same time, there is still a lot to be accomplished.
Excellent. Would you have had a preference because of the switch of opponent if this would have been a 3-rounder, or you were just you're ready for 25?
I love 5 rounds. I love 5 rounds. Yeah.
And lastly, what can we expect this weekend from you? Hard 25 minutes or Vettori vintage performance?
You know, I want to break this guy. I want to break him. If he can last, I doubt it, but you know, it'd be very dominant the whole 25 minutes. But I want to finish this guy.
Thank you, sir. Best luck on Saturday.
Thank you.